happened?
There's smoke.
Oh my
coming
god.
out.
Oh my god. There is smoke coming out. Can't believe it. Sammy's just escaped in this fireworks display. Another petrifying moment in France.
Well, we'll update you if it gets any worse.
Hi, I'm Daz and she's B, and we're on a 12-week road trip round France with our boys and our greyhound Sammy. Join us as we explore the history, beauty and fun we can squeeze in while getting to grips with the challenges of working and home educating on the road as a family in France, living a life less ordinary as we escape in the motorhome.
And good morning to you. And we've woken up in the most stunning location. And this apparently is Core. Spelt corpse. Which doesn't I laughed at last night. Right, time for a doggy walk. So the view where our van was last night wasn't that impressive, but just spin it round. It's a bit Alpine village, isn't it? They've even got some turbines down there. Right, Sam, lead on. Let's go and see if we can find the town. Sister-on, it was really cold yesterday morning, and I was warning the children, we're going up into the mountains, it's going to get so much colder. And actually it wasn't that cold last night, so maybe Sister-on is unusually cold and windy. Look at that, I've got to wash my hair, I've got to wash everything. As it gets colder, I'm going to be less inclined to have cold showers. Could have implications in the motorhome. Another free motorhome site last night, but it was really hard to find. The Google Maps pinpoint for the free air didn't put us in the motorhome free air at all. We had another 2 minutes to drive. Dad is going to put a little note in the review. He had to sort of zoom in on the map and look for white boxes to find the right site and look at other people's photographs of a big red building that's right next to the car park. There's a really sharp hairpin bend that takes you up into the car park, and we just heard this crack as I was driving, and he said there's nothing you could have done, it would have happened anyway, but you know, always feel guilty, especially as it's Daz's pride and joy. And he said, I wasn't sure whether it might have leaked. There was a black patch on the ground, and of course I'm starting to feel really guilty, but apparently it hadn't leaked last night. I will do a little check this morning. It might not be coming across on the camera very well because it's a bit of a dank day, or dank morning, but it's a very pretty little town. And that church last night, the stained glass windows were illuminating, it just looked really lovely. Ah, I like these benches. Must be some hint at the mountains that we're around. I could be the only people living in this town. Apart from the Dutch people I just saw coming out of the boucherie. It's lovely. Here we go, we can see a little remembrance plaque here of Napoleon and a little quotation from him saying, Corporus, I feel very at home here. So he travelled through Core on his way to Grenoble, and he was here on the 7th of March 1815, and apparently he liked the place. Bless him. I feel like I'm having another little Carignac moment where every time I turn a corner there's another cute building to film. So apparently that was the gateway to the town of Core there. You can just see the little tower there, that's the watchtower. And here's where they would sell in their market grains that would be sold on to Belgium and Holland. And this little area has a little bit of a sinister history. In the First World War they would make bromine gas, so an asphyxiating gas that would be used in the war. So the French apparently were the first to use bromine gas, which was like a tear-inducing gas and irritant in World War I, and it was made here. So just a couple of signs I've read, it seems like Core was famous for its grass and the grains from the grass. I had to do a little bit more research there. We have rain in Core. Actually feels really nice, but I don't know whether Sammy's going to freeze. He's not a fan of rain. Yes, from the brief bit of reading I've just done about bromine gas, it sounds like it can be found in salt marshes around the seas, but it can be found in grasses, so presumably that's the crop that they used to make the bromine gas for World War I, chemical warfare. And of course World War I was known as the Chemical War, which is why in World War II they prepared so heavily by having gas masks ready, but actually there was no gas used in World War II. This is where Melanie Calvat was a child and she was a shepherdess, and up on the hills of a nearby town she witnessed the Virgin Mary, and she's very famous for that, and apparently her apparition as a child can be seen here even though she died in Italy. So they've turned this little house into a museum. Well, I'm holding the bread underneath my arm so I can't hold the camera very well. I bought some pain au chocolat for the small ones as well, but the lady in the Bonjour was not very impressed with me trying to get my baguettes holding the dog at the door, so a man helped me, but she was very gruff. So if you stay here, this is the red building that you're going to see on some of the Google map pictures, and that's what you've got to look out for. So there's a nice little historic trail that you can follow around Core, and it's got a distillery, it's got some nice little shops. It's definitely worth a little visit, and apparently only 30 minutes from skiing. I don't think you'll be doing much skiing in the summer. The temperatures we're having at the moment. You're trying
Well,
drive straight through.
excuse the.
Oh,
Hi.
thanks.
So there's a bit of a rear end
Yeah,
shot
don't
of
put that in.
Bee getting into her driving seat. So Bee's driving, and I'm going to work from the front because we want to cover some mileage today. Is this the fastest time we've ever got ready? 10:15.
Oh gosh, I thought that dog was going to get run over.
Oh look, it's all going on out here. We forget the mountains. There's dogs attacking cars going on. Yeah, angry little dog.
Yeah, I didn't like
Thank
that
God this
car.
guy is proper chipper most of the time, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So I was just looking out into the distance. I haven't soaked it up enough, I don't think. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of mountains considering where we're heading for the weekend. It was a nice, quiet sleep compared to yesterday's sleeping affair. Do you feel rested?
Not really. No, I didn't sleep very well, but that's fine.
Oh.
But you know, I've been out in the town and shown you all the history this morning because it's a fantastic little village and it's a beautiful landscape. So I feel really happy that we found this place today.
Yes, a nice little stopover, but needs must, and we must make our way towards our weekend destination. So we're hitting the road for, is it a couple of hours today?
Yeah, a couple of hours.
And I think we're going to succumb to the beauty of a toll road again, possibly, just to try and shave off a few
Minutes?
minutes. The kids are all back there doing diary writing and reading this morning, and I'm in the front with my laptop. So
Off we go.
off we go. Yeah, indeed. Should we put some directions into the sat nav? So you join us on the Rue de Napoleon in a beautiful looking valley over there with a chateau in the middle of the turrets and everything. However, there is a smell of burning that's following us.
Yeah.
And we're on a 12%
12% gradient. Yeah.
gradient, and we're trying to use gears, not brakes, like the sign says, but to be honest, even in third gear we're just getting faster and faster.
Yeah, the route goes towards Grenoble.
There's smoke
Oh my
coming
god.
out.
Oh my god. There is smoke coming out.
Right, that could
might
be,
be
that's
on fire.
brakes, that's brakes.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Ugh, what's that smell?
It's the brakes. If there's someone to pull over, we'll pull over. Otherwise, use gears and try not to touch the brakes.
I'm on the brakes now.
I hate these mountains.
Are we going to explode?
No, they'll just be
Don't know.
very hot. It's going to be very hot. I don't think they can melt. They might warp if they get really hot. It's gears. It's
That
the
is our
brakes. The
brakes.
brakes are really hot. Well, we've got to stop now anyway. So this is a long downhill drive, and there's loads more to come. Yeah, it's not good. Funny enough, I was just saying to Bea, do you remember that time we were driving somewhere, we went down a really long hill and the hubcaps were on fire? By the time we got to the bottom, we didn't realise we were doing so much braking. And again here, you just don't notice it, but your brakes are on constantly because of the pitch.
Yeah, sorry,
It's a
I'm a
very
bit
strong
frightened.
smell.
Very
Okay,
strong
so-
smell, a bit frightened. This whole drive, in fact, has been very, very scary. Very, very scary.
There's so much.
Lots of hairpin bends. You've been climbing. So obviously, what comes out goes up, must come down, and we're coming down right now. But they actually put warning signs out. Coaches can't come down this route.
Yeah, and we had a bit of a
absolutely stinks.
shocker for height barriers just now as well.
Yeah, so this
Um,
is the Route Napoleon. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, we'll blame him.
Yeah.
So we're heading down to what looks like a lake or the river, which obviously must be the flat area. So hopefully we'll pull over and we'll give
Just let it cool down.
give Stampy a break back then. Well, thankfully, right at the bottom of the hill, there's a little gravelly, very uneven lay-by, but it'll do. So I'm just going to go out and see what the hubcaps feel like without burning my finger off. But just check how things are, and then maybe we'll have to just sit here for 10 minutes. Well, until they invent smell-o-vision, you won't know what this is like. But I can feel that's like putting your hand over a bit of a saucepan. And the same goes to the other side. So I think we'll just give that 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, we're in no rush. We'll give it 10 minutes. And then I think driving along, hopefully without using the brakes, might actually air cool them a little bit. And this territory, it is, I wouldn't say it's motorhome friendly. I think I'd rather be in a nippy little hatchback than an 8 metre long, 3.5 ton van. But you can't sleep in a hatchback. Maybe you can.
Oh dear, oh my gosh, angry driving going on then. It's never the person.
That one day, we'll get it one day.
Going through another beautiful alpine town, but I don't know whether alpine
Tiny
is the
street.
right word to use.
Alpine-esque.
Mountainous, mountain town, we'll call it. This map was in a service stop and I thought it was a reminder of just how mountainous the region was. And look, there's Annecy, where we were headed.
Well, Sammy's under 3.5 tons. But check this out, Sammy, lucky you. Especial. Oh, look at all the luxurious space there. You'll just about get your nose in. Well, France might have the same population as the UK, but 4 times the landmass.
Careful.
But apparently that only applies to humans and not dogs. Poor old Sammy.
Well, here we are at Lake Annecy. I keep saying Annecy, I'm guessing it's Annecy, it sounds a bit nicer. And so far we've just experienced the busyness. First air that we pulled up to was absolutely chock-a-block and they were literally packed in like sardines. They must have had some arrangement to say that they would park bumper to bumper because there's no way any of the camping cars could get out. But looking at this you can kind of see why it's so very popular. So when we arrived at Lake Annecy, I keep wanting to say Annecy, when we arrived at Lake Annecy it looked absolutely rammed, really really busy, and even though it's clearly beautiful with mountains all the way around it, somewhere that you'd love to spend time, it still has that kind of crowded, busy atmosphere that isn't particularly desirable for me or Daz. So we were thinking, oh, maybe we're going to have to just scratch this and carry on, which is really disappointing because this is the first day for the last 2.5 months that we've spent the entire day in the motorhome travelling. It's the first day. I'm kind of proud of that. Anyway, I decided to look at the nearest camping car place and it was half an hour away and it was payable, 18 euros in high season, but it came with electricity, a good Wi-Fi connection, so on. Phone them, no answer. Yeah, predictable. And I said, oh, it is just, you know, you have to use your bank card to go in and so on. And I started getting these calls from France as we started to make our way towards it. And I got 3 calls and I was thinking, well, they're being pretty desperate to get hold of me. I wonder if it's anything to do with the hospital, following up from Indy's arm break. But actually it was the guy from the campsite. And he said, I'm just going out, but let me give you some advice because it's going to look busy when you get here. But if you go a little bit further along, there's an extra entrance and you'll be able to find a space in there and get yourself settled and it's all okay. And it was ever so pleasant. Anyway, I thought, oh gosh, maybe he's desperate for custom and it's a terrible, terrible place. The website looks really good though. So I decided to look up Hirondelle on Park for Night and it's full of stonkingly brilliant reviews and most of them saying that the guy running the place is ever so friendly and that yeah, it is payable, but actually 18 euros to pay for a location like this, considering what we were paying to park on the street recently in a high tourist town in high season. It's not bad really. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously hold judgment immediately, but Hirondelle, or with an H, Hirondelle, we're on our way there now. It's supposed to be very busy, but apparently there is a space at the back and we will let you know when we get there if it's any good.
Well, the host might be amazing, but the overflow motorhome situation is, well, you know, it's a bit like that. Very interested in the fact that there are caravans parked up there. Maybe that's the overflow car parking. Interesting, huh? B's gone off to pay, so then perhaps after that and a drink or two we'll find our way down to the lake.
Well, dogs aren't allowed on the beach, so I'm going to stay here. Bonjour. Who's that, Sam Sam? I think he's slicing ham. It's a lovely old-fashioned ham slicer. Can't believe I'm saying that. So we've moved on from one cafe and now I'm buying chips with my teenager and Sam. How would you rate your swim in this lake?
It wasn't cold.
It wasn't cold, was it nice and warm?
Yeah.
Anything bad about it?
Really mucky.
Oh dear, what was messy about it?
Like all along the floor there were wrappers and...
Oh, but if there's human litter, that's really sad. Sammy is stealth munching spare chips under the table. I don't think he's ever going to be out. Oh, he's reversed out. He's reversed out. Good lad. Good lad. Watch your head. Oh, paddle. The journey to Lake Annecy, the countryside, is reminding us of home. It feels very English forest. Certainly just like a small forest that we've got near us. So it's quite a long walk to the plage from where we're staying tonight, but I think we've been rather lucky. So we're surrounded by campsites and full motorhome airs, but again, as I've said before, sometimes it's worth making a phone call, because I phoned up the motorhome aire that's at the bottom of the Petit Plage, and then he phoned me back. And I know I've told you this story already, but when we got there, I tried to go and pay after we pulled up at the back. It's rather grim at the back, but that's fine. Beggars can't be choosers. And I couldn't pay, but I'm sure when I see him later, we'll be able to. I saw at least 3 motorhomes pull up and look and see that it was full. And then they just left. And then they've got nowhere to stay. They've got to go and find somewhere else to stay. So just me making that phone call, sometimes it can open up opportunities.
Go on, hello, need some help. Someone's just managed to walk out the door.
What? What? What did he say? What did you say?
So he got out of the door.
He got what?
He got out of the door.
How? Sammy! Sammy! Sammy's just escaped in this fireworks display. Daryl's just managed to go and find him on the road. Poor dog. Blooming fireworks. Are you okay, baby? Daryl's just found him on the road in the middle of Lake Annecy. Right, let's lock this door. Oh, poor dog. Well done, Daz. In you go, Sam. It's okay, Sammy. It's okay, Sammy. He's never been frightened of fireworks before. Were you recording with fireworks on my phone? Sam.
I just heard the door go, he was gone.
Sammy. Another petrifying moment in France. Sammy managed to bolt out of the motorhome whilst a fireworks display was going on, and we thought the door was closed properly. There was a piece of clothing hanging and it happened to catch inside the latch, which meant it wasn't closed properly. Daz and Phoenix were recording the fireworks display and hadn't noticed that he'd pushed against the door and bolted. Luckily, Daryl spotted very, very quickly, managed to chase him across the field in the dark, and he'd managed to get over onto the road. Thank goodness Daryl acted so quickly. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened to him. And I've heard horrible stories about greyhounds bolting because of fireworks with their leads, and then their leads are banging against the floor, which gives them a heart attack. So it was a horrible, horrible fright. And I love fireworks, but I also have learnt to hate them because of what happens to animals.
Whoopsie daisy, we forgot to close our grey waste. It's as dysfunctional as my whole family. And you can see behind us Mont Blanc, I think, and all the rest of their cronies.